What is good, everybody? We are back for another late night live with your boy Big Regg and your boy Ghost. How's it going, man?
It's going good, but hey, I'm first of all, we're gonna get this out the way now. You're not gonna Shannon and skip me. You see how on the little icon, my face is all doubled up and blurry, you all in focus. Yeah, we about to have some Shannon Sharp problems.
Hey! I didn't make the icon, all right? I didn't make it, so you're not gonna blame me for that one, all
All
right?
right.
I just used what was sent to me.
All right, so I
That's
ain't got a
it.
contract out.
Nah, you ain't got to back out the contract. You ain't got to back out the contract. We're gonna ride this out. I think we're gonna last longer than Skip and Shannon. I think we can make that. They uh they had a bad fallout, but we all know why that was. How's your day been, brother?
Man, it's been one of them days. My little shirt came in from OTR Mike. Got that merch work, but
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That thing look clean too.
I might take off Friday. Might take off Monday. And if I take off Monday, that means that tomorrow's the last day I work before I get married. So no.
Ooh, you ready to tie that knot?
Oh yeah, I'm ready. They need to hurry up and get here. I'm tired of waiting.
I hear that, brother. I hear that, man. And I know she glad to hear it. More importantly,
Man, she wants to see the honeymoon. She don't. You know.
all right. The landing spot, not even the part that you interested in. She wanna know
Right.
where you going.
I'm interested in it all.
Yes,
We're gonna get married. We're gonna have a little party. Then we're gonna.
yes, indeed. So look, here's we got a few things to talk about tonight. I'm gonna try not to keep you too long tonight. Um, we both got a busy day ahead of us tomorrow as well. So first thing I want to bring up a little NBA action. Do you think CP3 is gonna make a difference in Golden State?
I think he will. Them times you can't have Steph on the floor all the time. And if you want to really change the flow of the game, CP3 is probably the LeBron James as far as the mental aspects of point guards. Like he might
Okay,
not be able to run like everybody else, but as far as studying the game and knowing what to do and to do for the most part, he's pretty good at that part. So when they get a little too hype and you need to slow everything down, hey, CP bring the ball up the court and we gonna run sets. And if a certain set is working, we gonna keep running that set till they figure out a way to stop it. As soon as they do, we'll switch to another set.
yes, I agree. CP3 is a very intelligent player, and I think that works more for him on the back end of his career than going out there and shooting people to death and crossovers and all that stuff. He's beyond that now. It's about the intelligence of the game. When to pass, where to put the pass. How to create the shot the easiest way. I think that's huge for him. Um, but I think the key thing is going to be his health. Right. I think playing in Golden State, he's going to have a healthier year than he normally would because I think he's going to be coming off the bench for one, and for two, I think he's going to get a lot more rest because of it. He's going to be great for that second squad that comes on the floor to lead them, set things up, and of course you will have times with him and Curry on the floor together and Clay, and it's going to be should be lights out the way he can dish the ball. But will that be enough to have him healthy in the playoffs? I think is the key question because he seems to take that time of year and just go on vacation. The man's never played in the playoffs. Like he seems to be hurt consistently around the second round of the playoffs and then just misses the rest. And I think some of it's fatigue, but I think the rest is just he doesn't really take care of his body like say a LeBron or guys like that. So the wear and tear is just too great on him. So I'm not really sure he's going to make the difference when it matters, and that's my fear for that pickup by Golden State is that he's not going to make a difference when it matters.
I mean, I can see that, but he also people also forget he can still score if he needs to or if he wants to. He's not. I mean, having him, you could probably lessen the role of we're gonna call him the power forward because at this point in his career, he doesn't deserve a name. He couldn't get 2 points if they in his lap.
Oh man,
But your power forward is your leading assist guy, but he can't score anything. Like I mean, once in a while, I mean, Dennis Rodman has more moves than him. Let's be honest.
I don't disagree. It's just that it hurts to say out loud, doesn't it? Like
I mean,
it
Dennis
stings a
Rodman
little.
was a scorer on the Pistons. He did start to become a scorer on the Pistons, but when he came to the Bulls, he accepted his role. Like those role players you were talking about.
Yeah. I was about to get at that. See? Yeah, exactly.
I
He
knew
did
he was going to
exactly
say
what
that.
he's supposed to. Absolutely,
But
absolutely.
I mean, if you put him in a role of, hey, we need you to score 12 to 15 a game, their power forward can't do it. Now,
No,
if you
you're
tell
right.
them, hey, get 9 assists a game, easy work.
Do you think their power forward is going to be there?
That's why I think a move of CP3 it lessens his value. Like it entirely, like his value drops by at least 30%. You could
Yeah.
put another big man in there that uh, can do defense, that can get the rebound and at least put it back in, or can put his back to the basket. If not a stretch three, and put him at the four. I mean, I don't see that guy having too much value when you have other guys who can actually distribute the ball just the same way he does.
Yeah. It's going to be an interesting year. I don't think the power forward, as you call him, will be there. I think he's out, whether it be via trade or cut or whatever it is. I think it's time for him to go. I don't think he's a free agent. I think he has another year on his deal. I'm not really sure, but it's definitely time for him to go. But speaking of other players that are or can be somewhat of a distraction, Kyrie wants to go play in Phoenix. What are your thoughts on that?
So I think Kyrie could play on the Suns because their coach isn't going to tolerate what Steve Nash was tolerating. Their coach actually demands some respect. Steve Nash was given two superstars and, hey, let's see what you can do with this. They tried to do Steve Nash what they did with Steve Kerr. We're going to give you two superstars and see if you can win a championship with them. But I'll be honest, do you remember them running very many play sets? It was ISO Kyrie, and ISO KD to death.
I think
And
that's part of why how Kyrie likes to play though. That's why I think it's gonna be a problem.
I mean, I don't see the Suns running too many sets and drills, but they at least have sets.
Yeah, this is
Steve,
true.
I haven't seen any sets from Steve. And with the lesser team, I don't I don't really see their play style really getting too far without him having some superstars who can be major ISO players. Like he needs a Tatum like guy who can, okay, we ran a couple plays, I'm out of plays. What can we do from?
I can see that. I can see that. So my thing is, with me, I feel like Kyrie tends to want the ball and dribble the clock out, and like maybe it's not such a bad idea, but that's how he plays. But do we want to risk wasting another year of Kevin Durant getting older, and then Devin Booker's getting better, and they are looking to get rid of DeAndre Ayton. I don't know what's going to happen. We'll see. They are trying to move him, but they've been trying to move him for over a year, and he's just one of those guys that's not going to go anywhere. Um, he's a problem. He doesn't look interested in basketball, and that's why nobody wants him. But Kyrie, I mean, is that going to clash? On paper, you see Kyrie, Devin Booker, KD, and DeAndre Ayton, and you think that's a championship team. But when you add in personalities, that's when you go, uh-oh. But we know KD's willing to take a backseat, right? But is Devin Booker willing to take that backseat?
I mean, Devin Booker's been in the front seat and it hadn't turned out too well. I mean, they've gotten him different players to play with, and Devin Booker in the front seat hasn't done too well. Now, I think if they co-front seated, they got to do like the fire truck. You know, the fire truck, the extended one, has the driver in the back that is assisting the driver in the front. They have to be in unison. They got to make this wide turn at the same time. I think
Yeah.
that's Devin Booker needs that. Devin Booker needs to be in the front seat, but he also needs that guy in the back bucket that's just smoothing them around the corner at the same time. Because by himself, he just has not. I mean, he hasn't gotten far. I mean, that year he had, it was him. Aiton was actually playing decently. CP3 was playing pretty well. You had the I can't remember the small forward. They shipped him off to the Nets. You had him and the six man that they had. Like it was pretty much
Um,
six guy. They
small
were
forward.
pretty.
Dinwiddie?
No, it wasn't Dinwiddie. They moved him to the Nets just recently. He's basically like the Nets star.
Yeah, I can't remember either.
I
I
don't know
can't
why
remember either.
I not remember his name, but I think he's actually from that area. He's from the New York
I'm
area.
thinking either Dinwiddie, Karis LeVert, one of those guys. I can't remember.
Oh, he went from the Suns to the Nets. Dinwiddie got
And
Dinwiddie
oh, the
got moved.
dude the corner specialist, the
Yeah,
3D dude. Yeah, I know who you're talking about with the dreads.
yep. They had Crowder.
Crowder. Yeah, yeah,
They had Crowder, and then they had the two guys coming off the bench. And I mean, it was like pretty much they were pretty good. If Aiton would have been able to hold down the defense on Giannis, then I mean that team was the most complete team that they've had. But still, Devin Booker was the lead, and he couldn't outscore Giannis, even though he didn't have that much defensive responsibility. And
yeah.
I would say Drew Holiday, he was basically focused on CP3. So I mean, that was Devin Booker. Devin Booker should have been scoring 35, 40 points a game.
I mean, we all know Devin Booker's supposed to be that guy, but I'm not sure he's fully there yet. But he does have the potential to push push that 35 points. But I mean, it's a lot to ask. I mean, they asked for KD and DB to score that much in the playoffs. That's the only way they could get a win was by scoring that amount of points. Um, it's one of those things where you look at the build of the roster and you say, well, what do we need to change to get further? But I don't think the answer is Kyrie. Kyrie's going to help you put up more points, right? He's going to be a better help than Chris Paul when it comes to that. But I guess it's a wait and see situation. How much does Kyrie care about winning right now relative to just being the guy on the team? I think that's going to be our main difference between the two. If Kyrie goes back to being or can find a way to be, I should say, because I don't think he was ever that guy. But if he can find a way to be unselfish Kyrie, where he's like, I just want a ball, I want to win a championship, and that's that. If he can be that guy, the Suns can be a very dangerous team, and we could be looking at a crazy roster next year.
I think he's trying to be that guy because that's why I said he wanted to go back and play under LeBron.
What up, Coach?
The world is flat, but it circles the sun. I mean, Kyrie wants to play back under LeBron, so I think Kyrie's like, look, I don't want to be the guy. That didn't work out. Just like for KD, it didn't work out. Let me be the guy next to the guy and get a championship.
Well, I think he wants to be the guy, but I think he wants to be. See, if he goes and plays with LeBron now, he's not getting old LeBron that was the guy. He's getting LeBron where LeBron is like, I want you to come in and be the guy, so I can kind of fall back just a little bit. I
But
think
LeBron,
that's
the leader,
LeBron's more of let me hold the superstars together at this point than let me lead the team to victory. You know what I'm saying? He's
yeah,
more I want to be. He's trying his hardest to be a number two, but that's not who he is. I think his personality is so strong and in a good way. You know what I mean? His personality is so strong that when guys play with him, they kind of just fall in line. And I think that automatically makes him, you know, that top guy where he's like, you know, hey, I'm number one, but I want you to be the number one scorer. I want you to be the number one ball handler. But when the time comes, you give me the ball. So I think there's a difference, and I think that's why Kyrie's willing to play with him because he knows LeBron's going to say, okay, well, Kyrie's here. He's the guy now. We'll play through him. Whereas back in the day, it was LeBron was like, hey, Kyrie, I know who you are, but you're not going to be the guy if I tell you you're the guy. You know what
he
I
needs
mean?
Kyrie to be more bat wing than Robin.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like it's we'll see how it goes, but I would like to see the dynamic because I mean Kyrie KD right now looks like a failed experiment. But what if they get in Phoenix together and just go crazy all of a sudden? Because like you said, it's a stronger willed coach. So we really don't know.
I feel like the Nets were more of a we're just gonna they were more of those teams like the Steve Nash teams. We're gonna run up and down the court. We just gonna outscore you. But then when it gets to the playoffs and they force you into more of those half court sets, it's like that strategy ain't gonna work right now. You playing you playing the best strategist and the best defensive guys that you got. What's up, Mike? And
What up,
now
Mike?
they're strategizing against you. So that's not always gonna work. Like you can have the 99 overall rated team, but if these guys are putting you in half court sets and they just passing the ball around until somebody's open for mid range and dropping the J's on you, what you gonna do?
Yeah, I don't know. They have no defense. You're absolutely right. Um, when there's that's got to be a fix, right? Whether it be through coaching or through finding the right players, they have to find a way to play some defense. It's absolutely crazy that you can kind of just run up and down the court on them. And I don't know that was the whole problem in last year's playoffs, right? They had to have 65 points between KD and DB to even try and win. If they didn't get that, it was an automatic loss. So it's one of those things that's hard to maintain, right? It's not the NFL where we can score points and then we know our defense is going to get one or two stops and that can win a game. This is 48 minutes up and down the court. You have to get stops, and the Phoenix Suns are just incapable of doing so. We'll see if that carries over. Let's get to a little bit of NFL talk.
I did want to say the only person I think that could be as strong willed on the court as Kyrie, if Kyrie or KD, one or the other were to be set with Giannis, I
Ooh,
think his mentality would it would have to rub off on him. It would have to rub off on them. Just
he's
just
humble too, though.
just
He's humble.
he's humble, but he plays hard
Yeah,
all the
he's doing, man.
and that motor. I feel like, especially with a guy like KD, stuff rubs off on him. That he it probably the most inspired ball that we've seen him play.
Yeah, love watching Giannis play. The man's a monster. I've been waiting for him to get some help. I was hoping they would get him Dame Lillard. Him and Dame would go crazy together, man.
I think about it. Two athletic 7 footers like that.
Yeah,
That'd be like Hakeem and Shaq playing on the same team.
yeah, it'd definitely be a problem. All right, let's talk a little NFL. Let's talk Dalvin Cook. Right now, we know the running back position isn't exactly valued the same in the NFL. But my question is, Where do you think he's going to land, and how much of a difference do you think he can make for a team?
He can make more than a decent position for the team, and he would make more than a decent acquisition for a team. He'd be a pretty good acquisition. Out of 100,
Yeah.
I'd say it'd be maybe out of 100 rating, probably about an 85. But like people say, oh, the running back position is devalued. It is not devalued. The players themselves are devalued. People know, hey, we need to have at least some good, decent running backs. But it's just so many running backs. It's like if you want this much money, don't worry about it. We'll get this guy over here because he's just as good and he'll do it for cheaper. So
Yeah.
it's not the position is devalued. It's just the value for the value, the paper player is devalued. Yeah, because I could draft a guy who's going to be just as good as you, teach him how to block, and we'll be okay. But every team knows if we don't at least have a decent running back, we're going to be one dimensional and we're going to be screwed. But right now, you got to buy committees. You throw a quarter in the water and see what fish bites.
So for me, I think it's not so much that I agree the position isn't devalued, and I agree, but I disagree where the person is devalued. I think it's the usage of the position that's devalued. So when they look at it now, they go, like you said, they run back by committee, right? They look at it and they go, we don't need a bell cow back anymore because we're going to pass the ball 35, 40 times. So we just need guys that will stay healthy throughout the year, and we'll have a certain number of them that can do whatever specific things and share the rock. So it's one of those things where you get a guy like Dalvin Cook. Now he recently turned down the whole rumor of him going to Miami. He said he declined the visit to Miami. So I don't know if that necessarily means he declined the contract offer, but he's saying he declined the visit. So with that being the case, that kind of takes him off the table for them. But if that will kind of be a perfect landing spot for him, right? He can come in. They got a decent home offensive line, decent because they can't keep Tua healthy, so it's not great. But he can make moves on the ground that will then help to keep Tua healthy, right? So along with that passing game, those wide receivers they got, I think he would be the perfect weapon for that team. But for him to turn it down tells me he's looking for something more specific. Maybe he's not looking to be the savior of a franchise right now. Maybe he doesn't want to come in and they be like, "You're our guy. We're gonna give you the ball 20 times." I don't know, or maybe he is. Maybe he's looking at Miami and saying, "Y'all pass too much." Either way, does he want a ring or does he want money? And we know if he wants money, he's probably not going to get it. Not at least what he wants.
The Dolphins do have Raheem Mostert, only the second running back there, but the two of them are a pretty good 1-2 combo already. So if he went there, he'd be in a three running back mix. And you were saying like teams pass 35 to 40 times a game. I believe most teams run an average of like 60 to 60 plays. So that's still 20 to 25 runs that you can still get in. So between two people, instead of seeing one guy with 15, 20 carries and the other guy with 5 to 12 carries, we're seeing both guys getting like, maybe 12 carries apiece.
Yeah.
But just if I'm looking at him, like people are like Miami, I'm like, you have Raheem Mostert, who they brought in from 49ers. He happened to be injured. I think the first three of the running backs got injured last year. So yeah, it makes the running game look worse. But they have two guys that they swap in and out as it is when they're fully healthy.
What if he ends up in Philly? Didn't they just
Philly,
lose Miles Sanders to the Panthers?
Philly's going to be even worse because you got the QB taking runs. You got another back run, another runner. Even if you trade Miles, they flip flop their two running backs as it was. So if you trade Miles, he's still in a two running back system.
I think that'd be fine for him, right? He's getting on the back of his career. I think he's trying to get paid and take less of a load, and
He,
try to go ahead out there and be I think he's already proven he's the number one back. So I
He's
think
hardly
that's in the past. I think it's about getting a championship now
you got
and
Hurts
getting
doing
paid.
all those runs. He's hardly going to get any load. It's going to be a run play, and Hurts going to check out to a pass play, and then Hurts is going to end up running it himself. He's going to be looking like, so what y'all bring me here for?
Listen, Jalen Hurts is a whole nother conversation. I was gonna save that topic for a different night. But a lot of
Man,
people are gonna like this.
Hurts is more running back than Lamar is.
Jalen Hurts is overrated. And nobody's ever gonna change my mind on that.
I'm not
Only
saying,
way,
but I mean, he runs a lot. Jalen
only
Hurts
person,
away from his running backs a lot.
Jalen Hurts is the only person that's gonna be able to change my mind, and that depends on what he does this season.
Look, most weeks in FanDuel, Jalen Hurts is over under with 75 yards rushing.
Yeah,
Even FanDuel knew this guy's about to run for his life and not even drop back and oh, I got to run for my life. He's designed running for him life. He's just, hey guys, I know the coach said that we're gonna run a sweep to the right, but we gonna have them pull to the left, and I'm gonna come off that left tackle and see if I can get 30 yards. And everybody's like, bro, it's a pass play. Just throw the damn ball.
yeah.
So
Listen, you see, Mike said, "Wow, I just all right." So here's my thing, right? Let's go all the way back to college. Okay, he got he got benched for Tua, who we all think is mediocre at best, right? We think Tua's mediocre. He has a new arm, can't stay healthy. That's the guy he got benched for in a national championship game. And then they go to the off season and he loses the starting role. Okay. And then with 1 year left of eligibility, he decides, okay, I'm gonna go play somewhere else. And he goes to an offensive heavy system in Oklahoma. I'm sorry, Ohio State. So of course he's gonna come out and look like a better quarterback than he actually is. Let's look at his. If you look at what he did, if you look at what he did prior to getting the weapons he got, he was man. People were talking about drafting his replacement already. Then you got him some weapons and he looked better, right? Same thing for Josh Allen. Got him some weapons and he looked better. But my question is, can he maintain that? Because he hasn't shown that he's the elite passer that people think he is. I don't know if he can maintain that. Tua was okay in college. So one of the things I like to point out about Tua is that he had weapons. Like he had all top notch guys in college football. And then if you pay attention to a lot of the routes they ran, was quick slants and things like that, where he could dump the ball out really quick and let those guys speed do the rest of the work. Right? So I think Tua had a lot of work done for him in college. And that's what got him projected as high as he did. Um, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, they was like, yo, you got to bounce, Sam. What up, Zeke? Yeah, man. I don't know. I got a problem with Dalvin Cook. He's gonna go somewhere. He's gonna be a great back. But just to talk about, I really think Jalen Hurts is overrated. I mean, if he can do it again, remember he's only done it for one season. Okay, one season. That's it. And then one after 1 year, they're saying, "Hey, Jalen, you're top five." I don't think it works that way. Whereas Lamar Jackson, you take a guy like Lamar Jackson, who was an MVP, unanimous MVP, did it through the air and on the ground, and they still fight to make him a top five QB. Like think about that. It's people that still argue that Lamar is not a top five QB. It's people that argue that Lamar's not a top 10 QB, and he's done it more consistently. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
I mean, I'm not saying Hurts is good, but if Dalvin Cook goes there, Hurts is taking some of his running. He's taking some of those. He's taking some of
Oh,
those.
absolutely.
And I don't think Dalvin Cook's gonna be rocking for that because Dalvin Cook's trying to get him another contract.
Speaking of another contract, right? D Hop, what's his story?
D Hop is doing what he knows is going to be best. Sitting around, waiting for that what they call that? That who's gonna get cut situation to end.
Yeah, yeah,
AKA I'm gonna sign a contract right before the preseason, so I ain't gotta do all these extra workouts.
yeah.
That's what
Where
he's
you think
doing.
he's
He's
gonna
sitting around
go?
waiting. Dang, y'all still in minicamp. Hey, when that training camp ends, holler at me so I can sign that contract. That's what he's doing. He's waiting for training camp to end and it to be basically, a couple days for the preseason, and he gonna play his way into shape.
I think he's a. Come on now, this is D Hop. I think D Hop's already in shape.
No, I mean he's in
I think,
shape,
but
but
football shape. I get what you're saying. Football shape.
actual game shape is not the same. So he's gonna stay in
Yeah,
shape. Like he's like, yeah, I'm working out like y'all working out, but I'm doing it where I'm comfortable at home, not sleeping in a dorm for a week and a half, 2 weeks at a time, talking about this is training camp, this is the way it's supposed to be. Nah, I know he's out there working. I've never seen him not in shape, but I know he's out there working. But it's different playing tag than running from the cops when they're after you.
hey, hey, speak about it.
So
Speak about it.
when the preseason comes, he's gonna play the preseason, play his way into shape. By game 2 or 3, he gonna be back in a prime game shape, not just regular human, shape. Because I mean, Rip Hamilton can run for 3 hours, but I tell you what, they put him on an NFL field, he gonna be worn
Yeah,
out by the end of the game.
yeah. So Zeke was saying he doesn't understand when people don't have Lamar top five either. It's hate. It's always gonna be hate. I don't know what it is. They'll always hate on Lamar. They'll always say he's not good enough. They'll still try to call him a running back. I think it's as far as guys that aren't in the game anymore, like ex players. A lot of ex players respect them, but a lot of ex quarterbacks don't. I notice a lot of former quarterbacks do not like Lamar, and I think a big part of it is the way he's doing it and who he is off the field, and the fact that he obviously doesn't speak like them kind of puts a bigger target on his back from other quarterbacks. But I mean, there's certain things you can't deny, and that's the fact that he took an entire team for 4 years, 4 or 5 years, put him on his back, and said, "Hey, we're going to be competitive every year, no matter what people think." And
No, I give you a different angle on why those QBs have a problem with Lamar. What's the most important thing to a QB besides having rings? What's the most important thing to a QB?
that paper.
Nah,
The
you gonna get
big.
the paper. You can get the Jamarcus Russell got the paper.
Hey, whoa, that ain't fair though.
I'm
Jamarcus got the
saying he
paper
got
when you could
he
get
got
it
the
coming out
paper.
of college.
That legacy. When these new quarterbacks come out running and throwing as well as Lamar does at the same time, the legacy of those statue quarterbacks is going to be, they was good for back in the day, but they never survived the day.
Well, that's already there. That's already out and about now,
I mean, it's
and it's
starting.
not just because of
He,
Lamar.
he's the true, if a wide receiver could play quarterback at the same time, type of abilities.
His speed is different. His speed is different. His ability to cut on a dime is different.
Right. He
I
has
mean,
the accuracy.
how many
You go,
quarterbacks got a highlight tape of breaking ankles? Like we see Michael Vick make moves and outrun people, but Mike Vick ain't really break ankles the way Lamar does. Like it's crazy. He breaks it down to the field. Like these dudes be touching grass and with their hand and trying to get back up. Yeah, it's different. I can see what you're saying there.
I
It's
mean,
like
they,
he took the game they love and made it something else.
you ever play, what was it, Game Day 99? Where
Oh,
you could build your player
listen.
and you could build your player exactly how you wanted to and make him the purest athlete ever and then put
Mm-hmm.
that quarterback, and it'd be like, this is going to be a blue chip, a white chip, or a red chip prospect. The stats was unlimited to what you could give them. This is basically you making the fastest, strongest guy that there is on the field, and then saying, we're going to put him in a quarterback, try and pass rush. Accuracy on 100, arms on 100, speeds on 99, elusiveness is on 95. Like, what are you going to do?
We got Hendo in the building too, by the way. What up, Hendo?
Oh, you mean my man 2 stacks going for 3?
Yes, yes, indeed. Listen,
2000.
so for me, I think D Hop ends up. I hate that I'm about to say it, but I think somehow he ends up in Kansas City, and it's gonna be a scary thing. It's gonna do great for my fantasy team, but it's gonna be scary to see him over there.
Yeah, that's one of those things where that's when you're gonna have to go back to having first, like your first 2 corners got to be first and second round draft picks. That's what that's gonna bring back. Like guys have to start having, hey, we got a corner in the first round of this year, we got a corner around in the first quarter of last year, and you know what? We probably need one in the second or third round of the next year because anybody who plays that team, all your corners are gonna have to be up to par. Your slot corner is gonna have to be a first round pick because if they put them in the slot, what you gonna do?
Speaking of drafting a ton of corners, that brings us to our next topic. Are the Ravens over or underrated this season? What do you think?
You
Over, under? 'Cause
you
you
cannot
know,
have an overrated team when your star QB is constantly underrated. People say Josh Allen are better than him. They got Jalen Hurts rated as better than our QB. Like, come on. If you're underrating our best player, you can't overrate the team and underrate the stars. Like it doesn't work like that.
I agree. I agree. So listen, I'm gonna hit you with something different. I think the Ravens are overrated right now.
As an organization or as a team.
As a football team going into and as an organization going into this season, I think they are overrated.
Aren't you the guy who said we got a Super Bowl coming, going 16-1?
I did not say that, sir. I did not say that. I said I think we'll make AFC Championship, and then I said I predict us to be in the Super Bowl, but I don't know if we'll win it.
Hey, Hendo, I need you to go back to the day after we signed Lamar, and this man was
I
talking
never said
Super
16 to
Bowl,
one. I
everything.
never said that. That was I think that was Nitro that said 16 and one.
No,
I
that was
I
you.
never no I never said that because I predicted our record.
Let me say,
I predicted us to have 14 wins. You could gladly go back to any of
you know
those
what?
live
Let,
streams
let me set the
and check.
scene. We just drafted Lamar. I'm leaving Delaware from what was that? Chase Bank, their headquarters just inside of Delaware, and I'm pulling over to the Wawa, and Yolanda and Hendo are both on the stream live right after he signed. I'm pulling out the parking lot with my 2 smoothies, and we ain't gonna say how much food I had. That's not important right now. And I'm driving back home. I'm driving back home thinking, dang, who we gonna draft tonight? And I could have sworn I saw Red say Super Bowl. Now
Listen,
this
I'm
is
always gonna say. Listen, hold on. The Ravens fan in me is always gonna say Super Bowl, right? But I never
okay.
said we was going 16 and one. I flat out said at the most we're getting 14 wins. At the most, because I see a number of teams I think we're gonna lose to. I think we're losing in that team in that game over in London. I think we're losing a lot of I think there's a lot of losable games there. And here's my thing, right? Um, my thing is and I want you to first off I want you to go back to those streams because you'll see that I said 14-3 and different things like that. I said 14-3 or 13-4. Go back and watch that. And you'll see it. You'll be like, okay, all right. And
I did
you'll correct yourself real quick.
I
I
gaslit you
promise
with
you.
wins, but you definitely did say Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, I'm always gonna say Super Bowl for us, always.
Okay,
But
I just wanted to say you said
that,
Super Bowl.
with that being said, we are overrated. The Ravens are overrated, and the reason I say that is because, like I said, last year I said Super Bowl, right? And I knew how bad the team was, but I'm always gonna say Super Bowl because I'm trying to speak it into existence. But when I really sit back as an analyst and I look at the Baltimore Ravens, I go, okay, you got Lamar Jackson, you got a running back who's going to be healthy for the first time in a long time. But what is he going to bring? And can he bring it on a consistent basis? Right? You go, our offensive line still has question marks. And whether people like it or not, no matter what we've done at wide receiver, it's nothing but question marks. Is Odell going to be healthy enough? Is Bateman going to stay healthy? Can they produce in the NFL like he did in college? It's all question marks. So for me, the only sure thing we have on offense is Lamar Jackson and Mark Andrews, right?
So,
And Ronnie Stanley.
is your overrated based on what Ravens fans are saying, or is your overrated based on what like what you might think, or is your overrated based on what people outside say?
A combination of all, a combination of all of it. Because I constantly run into whether it's coworkers or people I see on the street. Oh, Ravens probably gonna be the Super Bowl this year, huh? Y'all ain't got Odell, and that's what everybody's bringing to me when I talk to them. Then you obviously got Ravens fans going crazy, thinking we're gonna make it adding Odell and Zay and all that, including myself. Um, you got there's actual NFL analysts out there still pushing that the Ravens are a big threat in the AFC. So for me, I think when you weigh it all together, there's more people saying we're going far than there is saying we're not. What up, B? And I think when you put it together, I think the Ravens are just going into the season, they're overrated. There's too many question marks. We still don't know where the pass rush is going to come from. We don't really have a number two cornerback. No matter how much I sit here and try to hope that Caillou Blue Kelly is going to be that guy, we don't know. We don't know what any of these guys are going to do. And Kyle Hamilton is reverting to being a deep safety. And last time we tried to play him there, he got cooked. So who's to say he's even going to be able to perform at that position? He might have to get sucked down back into the box, which means he's essentially a waste of a draft pick. So I think they're an overrated team who can, to answer, and I was just about to answer that, Mike, team who can essentially overachieve on the season because I think we can make it AFC Championship. I'm not sure this team is really Super Bowl material, if I'm being honest, but especially in a packed AFC like it is now, I'm not sure they have what it takes to get there. But as a fan, I'm always going to say nobody can beat the Ravens. But if I'm being unbiased, right, I'm not sure the Ravens really have what it takes to get there. No matter how good Lamar is, I mean, you put Lamar out there, it's always a threat to get there. But I think they'll overachieve and make an AFC championship. And that's going to be an overachievement. You know what I mean? That's just for me because there's so many question marks. I think if we come back to this middle of the season, we'll start to say if everybody stays healthy and we're looking great, then we'll say, okay, well, this is a different story. You're right where everybody thought at the beginning of the season. But until we get for sure answers from how these players play, then we don't know.
I mean, to me, looking at the unbiased heads of the NFL, those people that we all go to see their power rankings and whatnot, they got us being seventh or eighth in the AFC. I'm sorry, but we made the playoffs with a much worse team last year than what we have this year. So
But that's my problem. Are we really a worse team? Were we really a worse team last year than this year? We don't know. Because for
we
all
made
we know, if
we lost.
Odell goes down, if Bate goes down, we tried out the same team we had last year, minus Marcus Peters, which to me is still a huge loss.
But that's if they go down. So you're telling me we lost Marcus Peters, but if this team just stayed the same and added OBJ and stays healthy, You're telling me we wouldn't be better than the seventh playoff spot?
No, absolutely. I can agree. Well, I don't know because we're looking at the AFC. This is a deep, deep conference. We're talking a conference where possibly all four teams in the AFC West could make it. Three out of four teams in the AFC East could make it.
Like,
I mean, that's a full playoff right there. And then you still haven't touched the AFC North. And then we all know the AFC South isn't really that not that much of a threat when it comes to the Jags, Titans, Texans, and those guys, but
they
and
got us
Colts. But
a wild card spot barely. So I think that's a little low. If you're considering Lamar Jackson playing a whole season, us barely making the playoffs, that's a little low. Am I
well,
unbiased?
like I said, there's a lot of games out there I think is very losable. Listen, I'm gonna put it to you like this, right? This was a telltale sign for me after I sat back and thought about it. Coach Evans did a show Tuesday, right, where he said he wanted everybody to list their top three Ravens going into the season. Who's our top three guys, right? And shout out to Sister Tally Films and more Sister Tally. Um, I sat back and I was thinking about the top three Ravens, and the first three that comes to my mind, if I'm being honest, are Lamar Jackson, right, Ronnie Stanley, and Justin Tucker. There's no way your kicker should be in your top three, but he is. Year in, year out, he's the most consistent thing we got. So
But
I think you look at something like that, and it shows how underrated. I mean, how overrated this team is. The fact that we have to survive off our kicker.
but that's the thing. Most teams, their kicker is the number one point scorer in their history.
No, I
That's
listen. I get that, right? But that's one of those things that's by proxy, right? Those guys don't. Those teams don't actually rely on their kickers the way we do. Like we literally look at games and go, okay, if you could get us to the 50, just let Justin kick it, and we good. Like we literally look at games and say that.
that's points on the board. No matter which way you cut it, it's points on the board.
No,
There's
I
teams,
get that, right?
there's teams that are better than us that Justin Tucker will probably still be considered in their top three because this guy is going to score as many or more points than the QB is going to score that year, regardless of if you get in the
It's
35,
hard for me.
get
It's
the
hard for
20,
me to say that.
get in the 15. If you're getting to the 25 and get stopped, you get to the red zone to get stopped. It's the same 3 points as getting to the 50.
No, I agree 100%, right? But
So picking a
I'm
kicker
just
is
saying,
going to
see,
be more
other
reliable no
teams.
matter what.
Let's be honest. Other teams have this uncanny ability to finish, right? We have. I'm talking about top teams. I'm comparing this against top teams. I want this conversation to be known that I'm comparing us to top teams, such as the Chiefs and those guys like that, right? The Chiefs, the Bills, all those guys, right? We rely on our kicker more than any of those teams, and that's big because if you look at the Chiefs, they got what is probably the second best kicker in the league, but still they don't look at him and go, "Hey, you got to win us this game."
So
We do that for some reason. Like even with okay, so we look at Lamar Jackson and then we look at our kicker. Whereas the Chiefs, they look at Pat Mahomes, then they look at Kelsey, and then it's like you go down the line with the Chiefs and you go, okay, one of these guys is going to win us the game, and then they go to kicker is dead last. I feel like for us, Justin Tucker is so important that, and it could just be because of how great he is
right,
and
he
how
made
great of a player
himself
he's at.
important. Let's not forget he made himself important. When we had a bad
But
kicker, we had a bad kicker. It was what it was. But when your kicker makes himself important, I'm sorry, special teams can win games and give him credit for
yeah,
winning games.
absolutely,
But
absolutely, right?
you're also forgetting that you're saying, okay, he scores 3 points. We say get to the 50, we're good, but we get to the 40, and sometimes we kick. We get to the 15, sometimes we kick. You forget that sometimes he's kicking that ball out the back of the end zone and
I know,
making
I know,
start at the 20 and 25 every single time. If you had
I
Devin
know.
Hester If you have Devin Hester and Dante Hall returning kicks, you want him to kick the ball out the end zone, or you want to get another kicker who might not be able to kick it out of the end zone, and
I'm
these
just
guys have
saying.
potential in the back.
Look, this is the only thing I'm saying, right? When you look at the Raiders, if you go to any other team, this is just my example. Would you rather have Justin Tucker or Marcus Williams?
Marcus Williams, the safety?
Yeah,
I'd rather have Justin because he's
and
he's
that's the point I'm making,
he's
right?
somebody
We'll take in
99.5%
Baltimore, our
to do
kicker
their job.
is
What
a
they do.
is top three on our team, whereas no other team in the league has a kicker that's a top three player on their team.
Now,
No
would I
matter how
rather
good it, like I said, the Chiefs kicker is probably the second best kicker in the league. Dude's nasty. I'd take him for any if games on the line. I got no problem taking him if Justin Tucker's not available, right? But they're not going to look at the Chiefs and say, give me him over Buda Baker or whoever their safety is, right? They're not going to do that.
but you're saying Marcus
And Buda
Williams.
Baker, I think, plays for the
Much
Cardinals, by the way. But I was just throwing the name out there.
Marcus Williams hasn't done enough for me to say I'll take Marlowe, I'll take Andrews, I'll take Stanley.
You'll take Marlowe over Justin Tucker.
Yes, I'll take Stanley, I'll take Lamar. It's a lot of people that I would take over Justin Tucker, but at the same time, he does have a very important role because of his ability. If
Okay.
you have a guy hitting
I
off
question it. I question it because I think a lot of people. I think you're in rear air because I think a lot of people will look at it and go, "Well, we could get another cornerback. We can't get another Justin Tucker."
I could be in rare air because guess what? I'm paying attention to what this person does and their ability to perform. On a scale of 99 to of 1 to 100, I'm going to rate a player based on how well they do their job because you need each player to do their job to win that.
Oh, well, yeah, 100%.
So when your kicker is 98% plus doing his job, I'm not going to take a chance. I'm not going to take a guy who's 95% because how many extra points and field goals that are kicked?
But you just said that though. You just said you would because if you said you'll take Marlowe over Justin, Marlowe's not. Last year, Marlowe was, I guess, what we would call 100%, right? Because he didn't give up any touchdowns. But outside of last year, that's not that's rare for him. Like that's not what he does.
I
He's
mean,
given up points in the past.
98% of the time he's doing his job. I'm not saying doing your job as in, oh, 98% of the passes that are thrown, you know, aren't called Marlowe. I'm saying when you have this guy, you tell him, hey, I need you an under trail technique behind this wide receiver. Marlowe will make a mistake maybe once every 2 to 3 games. Justin Tucker will make a mistake once every 2 to 3 games. So at the rate of are you actually doing your job? Yes,
What
98% of the time they're in position and doing the right they're in
give me
position
tough.
and doing the right.
I'm trying to tell you, give me tough.
I'm just saying that they only have those 1 or 2 times out of 100 where they'll mess up. You have guys like PQ who he's messing up at least 9 out of 10 times. He's blown a tackle or blown a coverage. I'm talking about the reliability of a player. Yeah, there's going to be you're facing Jamar Chase. Even if you're in the perfect position, the perfect technique, 99% of the time, he's still going to get 5 catches out of the 100. But that's just because
I'm
he's
just
Jamar Chase.
saying, you know. Look, so Mike, to give you my honest, unbiased opinion,
I think
um,
we'll second.
it's gonna. I think I was gonna say that. I think it's gonna be second. It's gonna be close, but I think the Bengals have too much firepower, and it might not even be them that do it. It might be the Steelers. As crazy as it sounds, and I thought the Steelers was gonna be bottom of the basement, but they have decent weapons over there. Their quarterback seems to be getting better and better. If you look at whatever he's doing in practice, things like that. So I can see, yeah, I can. It's gonna be possible to finish first, but I think we end up second. I think Bengals win the division. And the crazy thing is, I think the Bengals win the division without beating us. I think they should end up winning more games than us. Whether it be by one or two, I think they win more games than us. That's as crazy as it sounds. I think we sweep them, but they win more games. That's
Oh,
just me.
I was going to say he
If B
made
says, We went
86.
86%.
But it was about a good 8 to 10 of those that were pray to God he might have a chance to make them field goals.
Yeah, so coach put him in a position last year where he had him kicking on the opposite side of the 50 a lot,
Right. He was
a
kicking from
lot. So
52-yard line, and we're just like,
that does go into it. That does go into it because I think all of his misses were, I think, like 46 plus.
I think he
So
missed one under 40. He missed one under 45, but all the rest of those were like 52, 56, 61 yarders. I mean, they literally
yeah,
would just put the tee down on the 49 and were like, hey, bruh, if the wind goes right, you're good. Like, it was two of them that we actually saw at the end of the game. We thought were going to be good, and they were like just short because he was just so far out.
yeah, he had one I think went over the goalpost. It was just considered outside of it that I definitely thought went in. So he's still that guy when it comes to it. But just to go back real quick and answer this, B, unbiased opinion, they're trash. Paolo's pretty darn good. They're young with some decent potential, but they boo boo juice at the moment.
I thought he was talking about Magic the Gathering. I didn't even think about the Orlando Magic. Ain't that something?
Coaching is why you look at the rest of the team like they're worthless than the kicker. Yeah, worth less than the kicker.
I mean, most
I
of the
guess.
time it's
Yeah,
coaching.
it's that definitely has a part in it.
I mean,
I
yeah,
mean,
coaching does make Tucker more
this is
valuable.
true.
Also.
This is true. If we weren't in a run heavy scheme in the last few years, you're right. We might not be saying this about Tucker because it might be a situation where our offense is air raid, tossing it all. Actually, take that back. Yes, we would because those last couple of years we still would have had Prochet as a number two wide receiver. We still would have had Tyler Wallace out there trying to catch the ball.
I think
So
it's still bad play calling that we had terrible play.
yeah,
We
no,
had
absolutely, we had terrible
we
play
had
calling.
all it was always a run on first or second down, and third down was probably a repeat of one of the other two downs, like literally the same play. Hey, let's run the same play, different formation on third down to see if they don't notice. Like, I mean, we literally just called the worst ass juice plays that we could.
Yeah. Did you see? It was in somebody put it in Discord too. I saw the clip of it, but somebody put it in Discord where Prochet was getting a little bit, salty
He,
over that Odell one handed catch.
right. He was like, you don't let us do that. He was like, but he
He's like he different. He different. He can do that. Let Odell do that, bro. You can't do that, bro. We ain't nah.
you got to prove you can do that first.
Yeah.
He do it in practice and then drop it in a real game.
All people to say something. He shouldn't have been the one. I'm just gonna say that. If Zay would have said it, if Bate would have said it, whatever. Shoot, even if Aguilar would have said it, whatever. But Pro, nah, B. We bragged about you having some of the best hands coming out of college, and then you did what you did last year. Come on, man. You had more. Prochet had more penalty yardage than he did game yardage. Like,
He had more penalty yards than receiving yards in the last 2 years.
no, I'm gonna say not just receiving yards, game yardage in general. Like running, throwing, passing, returning. That man had doo doo yardage. He ain't get nothing. Nothing.
Yeah, scared Marks wiping front to back.
Yeah, man. He's boo boo juice. Dumpster juice. Like portlet juice. Like he wasn't no help. And I had faith in Prochet. I was a Prochet fan. I still like Prochet, but I think I realized before, some people did that he wasn't gonna be much in the way of any help. Dude, I like Dude. Dude is actually he can actually do something for the team. Tyler Wallace, I see guys still giving Tyler Wallace praise like he's supposed to. Or he's in a different system now. He might finally get to show what he's got. He's been hurt. He's in a different system. He's playing. He's gonna play better. He's this. He's that. He didn't get the opportunity. But to those people, I say, where do you get opportunities? Where do you earn your opportunities in practice? If he couldn't out practice Crochet to earn opportunities. Because if we notice when Bait went down, Crochet was the number two wide receiver. They barely played Tyler Wallace.
He barely made the game dress list.
Exactly. But you're gonna sit here and say, I think they played Benjamin Victor. They played the other undrafted dude that everybody likes with the dreads. I keep forgetting his name. The
Smart.
yeah, they played Shamar Bridges.
I almost called him Shamar Moore. I'm sorry.
That's the actor, Shamar
Yeah,
Bridges.
I know I couldn't help it. That's
They
who it
played
was. I was
Shamar
thinking about.
Bridges.
I was thinking about on his sons, Macau Bridges.
Oh, okay, yeah. Freaking everybody was getting burned. But Tyler Wallace, man. Tyler Wallace. And then when he did get on the field, it was like people like to say when he got on the field, when the ball went his way, he caught it though. Ball went his way, what, three times? I mean, and he didn't catch all of them because everybody's still pissed about the fact that uh, him and Lamar didn't connect on that deep ball. So I don't know, man. That's just me. Um, I had some other topics here, but we're over an hour, so I'm not gonna push them. We'll save them for another day.
Oh man, my homeboy just asked. He was like, you know, I was like, yeah, I'm on live. I just sent him the link. You gonna shut us down now?
Oh man. Listen.
He be like, damn, that's how y'all do me.
Oh man. Hey, listen. It's not my fault. All right. Um. You know what? We could talk about these real quick because it's not gonna be a long conversation. DC, The Flash, flop. Come on, straight.
So here's what I'm gonna give to you, and this is why I'm gonna give it to you, and it's a race thing, and that's why I'm gonna give it to you this way. So the Flash, Ezra Miller, he's been caught grooming children and all sorts of strange, exotic stuff that I mean, it clearly ain't right. And they still made the movie with this guy. He got caught with this stuff before they made the second one. But you got Jonathan Majors, and he catches an accusation, not something that
Hmm.
is true. And he lost endorsement deals, movies, and everything else. We don't even know what's the outcome of his situation. Like Ezra's been on some wild stuff. Like parents are like, "Yo, this dude has my child. This dude's
Hmm.
done that." And the cops talk to him, and they're kind of like, "Yeah, it looks like it does." They didn't bring any charges for whatever reason, but he ain't allowed to go
I think
around
we
DC
don't know why.
anymore. And it's just like DC was like, "All right, we just gonna run with it anyways." But you get
Yeah.
another guy accusation, and all of a sudden, hey, his career is done, and we not doing no more movies. The movies that you got that came out is probably the last movies that you ever gonna be in. It's like it's some real
Too
wild
little, too
stuff.
late, right?
Yeah, it's some
They
wild
should have
stuff.
if they were smart, they'd have tried to figure something out. Delay the release. Do whatever you got to do. But they strictly said we don't care what you think. We're gonna put it on anyway because we don't want to reshoot it. And that was a kind of a slap in the face, you know, to fans and to all those that were out there fighting against Ezra being in the movie. They kind of just said, and absolutely, there's a double standard, absolutely. And it's one of those things where now I better see Jonathan Majors in these Marvel movies. I mean, especially with the way his case is going right now, he's looking on the up and up. So I better see this stuff released with him in the films. So well, yeah, no, he hasn't been fired from any yet, but we don't know, what the future outcome is going to be.
Not. It's two movies that he was supposed to be trying to audition for, and they flat out told him, "Nah, you can't even be in the movie no more." Like it's two movies he had a chance to be in, and they shut it down.
Yeah, it'll come around. It'll come around. I mean, he's actually very good at what he does. So it's gonna come around. It's gonna work out for him, especially if the accusations aren't true, and right now it's looking like they aren't. So
Jonathan Jonathan Majors is that situation is looking like what Disney did with Johnny Depp. I mean, it's really looking like, okay, cool, we're gonna put you on hold. We ain't really rocking with you, and then next thing you know, they find out, hey, she lied. He sues her, and then they're just like, it's not a. Even if he didn't have them, they basically told him, hey, you don't have a shot to get it. If you take my opportunity away, it's all the same to me.
yeah, I see. Yeah, it was a biased reason why he didn't get the job. It seems like more than anything, right?
I don't even
Hey,
think
you
they
got
had.
this going on, so we don't want to hire you.
I don't even think they had an audition. It was like, hey, you got these charges. We can't be associated with you.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Now, on to something that we don't think is going to flop. At least I don't. What are your expectations for Deadpool 3? I mean, they pushed the release date up, which is crazy. It's something that's
So
rare.
for me, the expectations is I have to keep my expectations low because once it's oh, he's coming back as Logan. He's a little bit older. I'm not sure. He's played the old man Logan more so. I'm not sure if, because Deadpool, he's gonna have to be the young spry Logan. He can be grumpy and cranky, but he's still gonna have to be the young spry Logan. And I'm not sure that that he still has that in him to be doing a jumping and flipping around. Now, my favorite X-Men, obviously Colossus. That's my road dog. But I feel like, yeah, they probably might lessen his role, which is I ain't gonna be too happy about because he was a pretty decent part of the movie for me. I mean, it's not that they didn't enter into business with him. They pretty much told him like, hey, you don't have a chance to get this role because of the situation you're in. I mean, those movies haven't started shooting yet. You still could have given the opportunity and let him know, hey, if there's if these charges disappear, we'd like you for the role. Like as far as I read, his audition got canceled for the role. He didn't even have a chance. That role's been probably cast as somebody else by now.
Yeah.
I'm
Now,
just tired of seeing a guy get accused and all of a sudden he's guilty before he wakes up in the morning.
oh yeah. Well, I mean, we know why, like I said, but on the Deadpool 3 subject, I am extremely excited for this movie, right? Because he did something different from Marvel, right? He's edgy. He's more edgy. You know, it's one of those characters that you like to see because he does a lot of weird stuff. But it's one of those things where I think he's gonna come in. I think this movie introduces mutants, obviously,
I
because
mean, Colossus.
Wolverine's gonna be in it. Yeah, but they weren't really part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so now they will be officially. So it's really introducing the mutants into the MCU. But from what I'm hearing, one of the rumors I heard is that he's going to be basically traveling through time or traveling through universes, right? So there's a chance that we see him in the and right in that moment when Doctor Strange was doing the thing for Spider-Man and they tried the sky turned purple and the universe it cracked open and so there's a chance you see him back in that moment, right? So there's a ton of opportunities they have with this as far as bringing in a lot of people. One of the rumors were they saw Halle Berry sporting the Storm here again, so she might be getting ready to play a role in this movie. Um, Magneto was another rumor, so The excitement's building. I'm crazy excited, but my worry is that they're gonna build all this excitement, and then out of nowhere it's gonna be, just Logan. And the rumor too is that it's not gonna be the Logan that from the X-Men series and the Wolverine series, that the Logan that died. It's gonna be Logan from a different timeline, and that may possibly lead to it being Logan that actually wears the blue and yellow suit from X-Men.
Hold on, the yellow and brown suit is the classic.
That's the classic. The yellow and brown is the classic. But so I'm crazy excited to see where it goes. I can't wait. We're only a year away. Um, I can't wait to see it, man. I can't. It's gonna be dope. What up, Brent?
I mean, I'm excited for the movie, but I'm tempering my expectations because it had you. If your expectations get too high, if you're expecting it to go in a certain direction and it does not, you're gonna have
That
you're gonna
that's
be
my
like,
fear.
but it could have been better, like that kind of thing.
That's my fear. I don't want to suffer that heartbreak. And Nightcrawler is one of my favorites too. I've always loved Nightcrawler. I don't know what it is about the character, but I've always loved it. Um, that's my fear because my hopes are so high. You get Wolverine, and then you get all these other people rumored. I want to see where it goes though. I want to see where it goes. Supposedly, the actress that played his girlfriend in the other two movies, she's coming back for this movie as well.
Isn't she the one who played Lois in the real life adventures of Lois and Clark?
I think so. I don't know for sure, but she's coming back for this movie as his girl again. So, like I said, he's traveling through time. We got Jose in the building. What up, Jose? LBHT, Lunch Break Hot Take. If y'all didn't know, go check them fellas out. Great show every Wednesday, 7:15. Tune in. You will not be disappointed. I promise you that. Amazing show. Right along with the Rogue Pod. That's another one. Great show. His show times are all over the place. That man is on everything. One of the hardest working men on YouTube by far, Mr. Hendo. So shout out to all you gentlemen. You know how much we respect y'all.
Hey, now don't forget the mic now.
Of course, OTR bite. That's listen. I listen. It ain't even got to be said. We already did the. You already sported the show. What you sported the shirt? What 3 4 times already? It
I
ain't
mean,
even got to be said. When you showing it off, it ain't even got to be said. It's already spoken. You know what I mean?
I'm surprised this couch still dry. I'm dripping hard over here.
Open mic with OTR Mike. He got the merch on, so you know that's the real deal. That's a cool gentleman. And Coach Evans, y'all saw him in here earlier. 60 Cali Sales. Y'all know the team. The team's strong. You know what I'm saying? These dudes, they got the whole. Listen, they got the whole week locked down. You do not have to turn on boring cable television. Get rid of it entirely. These dudes got a lineup for you every day of the week. You will not be disappointed. You will always have something to watch. I promise you that.
I didn't even know that there was a whole rider shutdown. I ain't even know. I was watching YouTube.
Listen,
I ain't hurting.
that's what I'm saying. That's what they do. That's what they do right there. They keep you listen. They keep you distracted away from the negatives, and they keep a smile on your face. They keep you entertained. And there's nobody better at doing it. Nobody better than that list of gentlemen right there. You know what I'm saying? And then you got the young up and comers that's trying to make a name for themselves, such as us. You
Little bit
know,
of no.
you little some us, Jada Six. You know, couple guys trying to get somewhere. Um, hey, we doing what we can. We doing what we can. We doing what we can.
Hey, you
You know
forgot
what
to
I'm saying?
thank the subscribers. Well, you promised them a nice upgrade from that short you did earlier.
Hey, listen, that was gonna be my closing statement. You know what I mean? That's my closing statement. I wasn't even ready for that yet. We gonna get there. We gonna get there. Right now, I just want to get my final statement on this Deadpool 3. I want to see. Do I want to see that? Yes, I do. I want to see Professor Xavier in it too, and I want to see the Scarlet Witch in it.
You want to see the
Think about
young
that.
professor, the old? You want both?
I want the young professor, right? And not super young, not like the young one from the movies. No, I want a younger-ish Professor Xavier from when he was leading the X-Men that was rocking the yellow and blue.
So in his
When
40s.
Wolverine was in there, yeah, like 40s. You know what I mean? He was still bald and crippled. I want that one. That I know that sounds terrible the way it came out, but that's the one I want, right? And I want that blue and yellow X-Men. And then I want to see them flash to a point in time with the Scarlet Witch, or maybe, ooh, hold on, I just thought about this, right? Remember that comic that had Deadpool and Wolverine trying to kill each other? They were actually going at each other. Maybe that's what we get. I'd be okay with that too.
Isn't that the one where he smacked the brakes off of Wolverine's girlfriend because he was trying to get Wolverine to fight. Wolverine was like, "I'm not fighting you. I'm not fighting you." Then he smacked his girlfriend. And Wolverine flipped off.
No, listen, I gotta see it. And hold on, one other character I want to see in the MCU who may be one of my favorite X-Men of all time, Gambit. You gotta give
I
me a Gambit, and you
didn't
gotta give
Channing
me a good Gambit.
didn't Channing Tatum do a whole little self-produced joint of Gambit trying to get them to do a movie because that's how the
Bro,
Deadpool
I
kicked.
I
Ryan Reynolds
need
a
I
whole track.
need Marvel, Disney. I listen. I need Gambit. I'll do any. I take that back. I won't do anything. I won't do anything. But I need Gambit. Please, pretty please, pretty please. Give
Look,
me
he put
Gambit.
movie. Just take my money.
Take it. Take it. I'm at the premiere. I do whatever it takes to get to the premiere. Take my money. Give me Gambit, please. And do it right. Now be square. You getting called out. You getting called out. Colossus, one of your favorites? Well, of all.
So look, I have temperament issues. Like I fly off the handle, and I mean I'm about 6 foot, but I got a small man complex.
Listen, you cannot say something like that to me. But I'm 5'8". All right, I'm 5'8".
Yeah, that's what I say. I'm 5'11". I still have a small man complex. Like I see a dude bigger than me, and I'm already like, okay, I gotta put hands on him. This is how I'm gonna break him down. Like that's just my mentality. So to see a dude who has all the power that he needs, but like his first instinct ain't to fight. He got the self control. Like he do what he got to do, but he just gonna leave it at that. Like to me, that's cool. Because if I was
Okay,
about
I see what you're saying.
I'm about 6'5", I'd have been in the UFC or something. I'd be like, look, I'm here to hurt. Like I'm walking in here to hurt somebody. Like I'm big enough, I
I
can
see
do
what
it. I'm
you're
walking
saying.
in here to hurt somebody. So you got a big dude who's cool. You know, he not
He got that
not
power under control. He don't want to
he,
kill everybody.
he's more. I'm gonna protect this than I'm just gonna go out here and just be trying to kill stuff. Because trust me, they gave me superpowers out here in these streets.
So
Let,
it's
let
really his character that kind of his personality that
right. I mean,
makes him your favorite.
they definitely undershine his abilities and what he can actually do. Like it's a lot of stuff that, like, say even Drax the Destroyer, Disney downplays. Like this man literally has the ability, Drax the Destroyer, to increase his height to 8 feet tall if he wanted to. You don't see that in
Didn't
the.
they have
It would
didn't
make
they
him.
have an episode in the X-Men animated series where Colossus got whooped on by Omega Red? I could have sworn they had that. Omega Red put the boots to him. I remember that.
That's the thing. He's the X-Men's big man. So the problem that I have with what Marvel does is to make the other person look like, oh my gosh, this enemy. It's like, okay, we're gonna have him beat up on Wolverine or Colossus. Because if you
Or
beat
Beast.
right. If you beat Cyclops, it's like, it's Cyclops. Outside of he's a tactician and he has little laser eyes.
So
So
she just confirmed it. That did happen. Okay, I remember that episode distinctively.
so they overdo it to everybody. But when he took over the power of the Juggernaut, they still hardly had him do anything.
Yeah.
He literally went to the god of Sidorak, and the god of Sidorak was like, because he's a nice guy, he was like, if I could control this guy and drive him insane, it gave him more pleasure than giving the Juggernaut the powers. So he actually took the powers from the Juggernaut and gave it to Colossus. Colossus beat the brakes off the Juggernaut, but we don't talk about that.
Oh, Sugar's hurt that you disrespected Cyclops.
Disrespect Cyclops because there's also when Storm told Cyclops flat out that he was soft and he doesn't deserve to be the leader, and she challenged him and beat the brakes off his ass, and that's how
Well,
she became.
hold on, listen. Technically, she's not wrong. Like, I've never seen somebody get so distracted in the middle of war because his girl left him or whatever. Like Cyclops, he in every iteration of the X-Men, if Jean is like, nah, I'm good with you, or something happens to Jean, he breaks down entirely and he can't fight anymore. And whereas most people you would think, especially with powers, you would think, oh, this happened to my woman, especially if it happened because of someone, I'm going to destroy you.
Bro,
He's
you
kind of the
remember who
opposite.
put hands on him? He was so jealous of Wolverine and that how she was like, oh, Wolverine's the bad boy, but she's gonna stay with the known thing. And then he got jealous.
Mm-hmm.
And Wolverine had to lay them paws on him. And then after that, Professor X was kind of like, come on, you're not supposed to do
Should
this.
say she for the streets.
For a genius for the universe at this point. You got
Hey,
universal
listen.
flying across space and time to get some of that.
Hey, listen. You right though. Wolverine did put the. Well, think about it. Even in the movie, right? Wolverine had to tell him because when Jean died in the movie, which she eventually came back in the next one. Wolverine had to tell Cyclops then, hey, she just so you know, she chose you. Like she decided she didn't want the bad boy. She chose you, and he still was like crying. And think about it. He was crying when he thought she was gonna smash Wolverine. Like how that's some soft. Yeah, you saw. Yeah, you saw. Cyclops is the Star Lord of X. Oh man,
Star-Lord had his girl on lock. Nobody has to. No, nobody had Gamora. Star Lord was the man. As far as she was concerned, he was the man. Like nobody else hit on Gamora. And if
that's
they did,
true.
she killed their ass.
That's true. Star Lord was holding it down in the bedroom.
He the
I
only
think
one that smashed.
I think Cyclops did. Cyclops wasn't hitting it right. So she was thinking about other people while she was in bed with Cyclops.
I think Colossus might have snuck in her room at one night too. So he came and
That
said,
goes to show right there, man. It's crazy. She really did get around. That's crazy.
Nah, I was joking about Colossus. I was just messing
No,
with a kid.
I know, but still, she got around though, cause she was flirting with in one of the X Men series. Wasn't she flirting with No, that was Kitty. Never mind, that was Kitty. Kitty was flirting with what's his name? The speedster.
Pietro.
Yeah, Pietro. Kitty was flirting with Pietro.
That's the one when they were at the school.
Yeah, yeah. When they were teenagers, they were at the school. Cause she. Oh man, all on the back. Hey, listen. It was always the wrong moment for him. That's one of the points I'm making. Like you could be in the middle of war. If Gene go down, he stop blasting people. Gene, and he runs over to her. It's like, yo, you supposed to have my back right now. Like she would be okay if you just kept shooting people. But
Right.
no, you had to take your eyes off the prize.
Tree.
Literally.
Like, I mean, if you think about it, hand-to-hand combat skills, it's not too many people that Cyclops is beating. Like, especially Havoc. Havoc would beat the brace off of Cyclops. I know it's his older brother, but Havoc had Cyclops shook.
Everybody did. Listen, Cyclops' one power is that he shoots lasers from his eyes. I'll whoop Cyclops. Look, all I gotta do is duck one laser, put some duct tape over his face. That's it. It's over. It's over. I'm an electrician. I know how to spray some duct tape. That's what I'm saying.
All you gotta do is hit him with the Velma from Scooby Doo. My glasses, my
Yeah,
glasses.
like, exactly. It's over. Did he walk around like this? It's over. I'm gonna put the paws on him. I'm putting the paws on him at that point. There's nothing you can do about it. Cyclops he's literally the weak link. But if you notice with a lot of groups, much like Kale pointed out earlier, they choose it seems that the leader is always the weak link, right?
Leonardo.
One person it's always the one person who is either the easiest weapon to defeat or the lesser power, or sometimes in some cases has no power, right? Like Star-Lord. And I think that's because those are the people they instill that leadership role. Like they have that leadership characteristics.
Well, that's what Storm said before they got into this fight, and she whooped his ass and took leadership. She said he gave you the leadership role because you needed it. Professor X,
I'm gonna get close. I'm gonna find a way. I'm gonna get Suge. I'm gonna find a way, Suge.
Sure, you said he was for the streets. You can't do much worse.
Clot, what's good, Clot? What's good, Clot? You popped in right before we was getting ready to end the show. I'll probably give it another couple minutes.
Clot said he
thank you for showing up. We appreciate you. Clot said extend the show. He wants some more time. Listen, what time is it? Yeah, I'm up in like 5 hours.
Well, 5 hours is 1 a.m.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. But we gonna call it a night for the night. What's good, Fairs? Everybody popping in now. Look at that. What's good, Fairs?
Man, Ferris is the most showing up at the last 30 seconds person. It'd be a 4-hour stream. Ferris show up at 3 minutes 59 seconds. They'd be like, "Hey, bro, what y'all up to?" Signing off in about 37
every time, right? Every time. So listen, we want to thank everybody for coming through. She is for the streets, and that'll never change. And we do got to remind her every time. We want to thank everybody for coming through. We appreciate y'all. Clock, definitely hit up that replay. For all of those that's gonna watch the replay, we appreciate you. We thank you for coming through. We are here for you every Thursday around the same time at 7:30. We're gonna try to be consistent with it. We have other things in our schedule that may cause us to be late some days, but we will be here. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We hit 70 subs on each of our channels. In case you didn't know, go let them know where they can find you so you can add on to that 70 subs.
Well, A6 Ghost on YouTube, A6 Ghost _ on IG and Twitter. But I definitely gonna say this does count as my stream for the week. Holler at your boy, but don't yell.
Hey, listen. I'll let it slide. Because I held you for an hour and a half when I said I was gonna only hold you for a half hour. Nah, I won't let it slide. You still owe us the stream. I will co-host the stream if I need to.
NBA draft night, I gave y'all 6 hours.
That's true. But how many times have I given us, 3-4 hours? Like a number. So, not all the time.
You might have got one stream without me, but most of the time I'm there with you.
Hey, listen. All right. I'm still gonna hold you. I still want another stream, brother.
This is considered a conference stream. You see how my face is on the other side of the thing? You see how it says,
Oh man.
yeah, Reggie B squared?
Listen. Thank y'all again for coming through. Y'all, you can find me Living Big with Big Reg on YouTube, TikTok. On Twitter, it's just breg29. That will be changing as soon as I remember to change it. Y'all have a blessed night. Again, thank you for the 70 subs. I appreciate every last one of y'all. I love y'all. This is family to me, and I treat my family with the greatest, utmost respect and love. I'll be there for y'all, guaranteed.
August 4th.
August 4th, I'm in the building. I'm in the building. For those who don't know, August 4th, Roundup Meetup, Columbia, Maryland, Busboys and Poets. Hit up, what was it, Eventbrite? Eventbrite.com. Get your tickets. Get your tickets. Get your tickets. Everybody's going to be in the building. It's going to be a party. I myself am driving 6 hours just to make sure I'm there. Y'all can't miss it. Come out, show some love, support the family, and let's do it right. Let's party. We're gonna party then, and tonight we're gonna get our rest so that we can party then. Y'all have a blessed night. We love y'all, and we out. Peace.